I just saw a creator's incredibly viral post about a subject that I've talked about extensively for a long time. I would say it's kind of one of the key areas of focus of my content throughout the last year. But they had such a good way of phrasing this issue. And then I found the comment section really fascinating. And I want to talk about that more in a second, but hear a little bit of what they had to say first.
If you're an anxious person or you struggle with paranoia in any regard, or you simply care about the state of your mental health, I would really recommend that you disengage with and unfollow creators who do nothing but fucking engagement farm and fearmonger every single time a major event hits the news, which is like every other day.
Absolutely.
Staying informed is important. Being educated is important. I am in no way dissing creators that dedicate their accounts to news coverage or politics. That is not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this select sect of them that does nothing but sit in front of the camera, look really worried, and then yell at the camera. And they're like, oh my God, guys, this is really bad. They say that this time they're going to retaliate worse than ever, and we're literally all going to get blown up tomorrow. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, not only is that not going to happen, and you can easily disprove it statistically by performing any sort of fucking research on any free search engine, but it is so ridiculous and just like low to prey on people's fear like that and whip people up into a frenzy. Like, it is just so fucking irritating. I would recommend that you do your own research, look at fact-based creators, and then go from there, okay? Because you cannot be like, and of course, if you engage with content like that, then the feed will just suggest more content like that, okay? So take a breather, look at legitimate news sources. AP News is my favorite news source.
If you're even a tiny bit familiar with my content, you'll know that I have video after video pushing back against doomer creators who are essentially grifting off of people's fears. And I know there are some exceptions, but overwhelmingly these creators are white men who are doing these apocalyptic doomsday scenarios. We're all screwed. We're all cooked. Everything's over. America's dead. It's the end of everything. And they take some snippet from the news. They strip back all of the context. They just take a really scary headline. They amplify it and they prey on everybody's worst fears in order to get clicks and make a shit ton of money. It's despicable. I completely agree with this creator. I've got so many videos being like, hey guys, I know I do social media for a living, but if the content that you're watching is freaking you the fuck out, if it's causing you to be paralyzed with fear and want to shut down, if it's pushing you to a place where you're spiraling in a little doomer, right, like death spiral, where you think that everything is, going to be terrible forever and America is dead and we should just give up, and you become cynical and jaded, like if any of that is happening to you because of social media content that you're watching, put your phone down. First of all, before you put your phone down, block whatever creator is causing that reaction in you. They're not good for you. I personally think if a social media creator is not inspiring you to take action, they're not helping you feel empowered and educated and helping you feel motivated to take action, right? To reclaim your own power and defend your own future, your rights, your country. In 2026 America, that creator is not worth following. Don't follow them. Don't waste your time on them. We got a lot of work to do organizing to care for our neighbors, engage in mutual aid, and defeat the fucking fascists. We don't have time to enrich these men who are making content being like, it's terrible, all your worst fears are about to come true. Wait a second, I'm going to move on to the next scary headline when none of my predictions were manifest. I know I acted like I had a crystal ball and that I predicted an apocalypse. Don't pay attention to how that didn't come true. I'm going to switch to the next scary headline. I'm going to amplify your fears a bunch and get you to click on it because you know what? All of that big adrenaline rush, all of that cortisol rush, all of that fear and anxiety, that gets people to click on things. Maybe because on a little bit of a level, it's like riding a scary roller coaster or going to a haunted house. We enjoy the anxiety and the titillation a little bit. But I think for a lot of us, we're looking at that scary story and we're hoping they'll bring it around to be like, okay, actually, hang on a second. Here's an action item, or here's a way that you don't have to just like succumb to all of this. But they don't do that. They don't have action items. They aren't doing anything to help the pro-democracy movement. They're not doing anything to help the American people. They are preying on your fears to make money. And they do it in the name of being like, I'm an anti-fascist. I'm opposed to what the regime is doing. But they're really out for themselves. I'm sorry, that's the truth. They're out for themselves. So I looked in the comments of this creator's video, and I'm super glad it went really viral. I hope a lot of people take their advice and block these creators and look at credible sources. I would go far beyond the AP. I personally like Mother Jones, The New Republic. I read The Guardian a lot. I also read ProPublica, The Politico. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. If you want news, listen to legitimate news. If you want activism, analysis, and action plans, listen to somebody like me. There's a lot of creators who share their expertise when it comes to history and the law, social movements, justice work, anti-racism work. Really, really important content. Do we need to be spending our time on these guys who are freaking us out? Again, there are a couple of creators who are not men, who make their own kind of cynical, hypocritical content that may seem like it's coming from a place of caring, but if you really listen to the message, it's all fear-mongering. It's all fucking fear-mongering, and it really makes me mad, because we need everybody to not only realize their own power, but then to take action to wield that power. We need everybody on board. We know the way that we stop a fascist movement is through mass mobilization of the people. We need everybody. We need everybody contributing to this work. Everybody has a place here. Nobody should be making their living demoralizing and scaring people, especially not with incendiary content that's just like not fact-based at all. I am always asking who benefits? Who benefits from the narrative that is being put out? After all, influencers are here to influence you, either to take action or to what? Surrender to the fascists? Who benefits from this kind of doomer rhetoric? Who benefits by fear-mongering? So I went into the comment section of that creator's video, and it was really interesting, really interesting to see. Immediately, folks in the comments were naming just a handful of creators. I didn't know any of them. Well, that's not true. A couple of them are dudes that I know, and I've made videos expressly to and about them, being like, knock that shit off. That's really irresponsible of you. But a couple of them were big creators that I'd never heard of, but like everybody in the comments knew them, which just goes to show you how siloed you get on TikTok, especially. That these were creators with huge followings that I'd never heard of. And people were like, oh yeah, that guy, he really makes me anxious. That guy just makes this kind of fear-mongering clickbait content. Guys like these bros got mentioned in the comments a lot.
There has been a terrorist attack in America. 16 people were shot. 2 of them are dead. The shooter is dead too. This morning, there's been another mass shooting in America. 16 people were shot. 2 of them are dead, in addition to the shooter. Because of the Iran strikes, 3 Americans, members of the military, were killed in action, and 5 were seriously wounded, according to the U.S.
That's enough of that, bro. Every single video of his is like that. He says he's a journalist who's converted to making slop like this. What does he think he's doing? What purpose does that serve? What benefit does that serve? How does that help democracy? Helps his pocketbook. His videos go real viral. We could do a whole video analyzing the psychological tactics that he's employing there. But I'm not going to do that because I fucking blocked his ass the minute I read all the comments and clicked over and looked at his videos. I was like, fuck no. The other creator who got mentioned almost as much as that guy.
There's something currently happening in this country that should terrify each and every one of you. Oh, hey Spencer, how are you doing? Well, shucks, I am so glad you asked. Let me tell you how I'm feeling. We are currently living on a rock, suspended in nothing, hurtling through infinite space. And if you were to zoom out far enough, compared to the universe, our planet is literally a speck of sand on the beach. Nothing we do truly matters, yet we still have to pay taxes. We have to take little rectangular pieces of green paper that only has value because we all collectively agree to pretend it does, and we just hand it over. Money isn't real. It's literally paper that doesn't dissolve in the washing machine. Quick little geopolitical update that kind of sounds like the plot of a movie that's centered around World War III.
Nope, that's enough of that for me. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but please think about how you're spending your life hours, how you're spending your energy. Who's benefiting by you consuming that kind of content, and what detriment does it do to you? I know the phrase protect your peace gets thrown around as an excuse for people to not take any action and to have their head in the sand and to be just like completely checked out. But protect your peace is actually a real thing. It's actually a conscious, disciplined choice not to expose yourself to media or other subject matter that's going to demoralize you, that's going to strip you of your motivation, that's going to bring you to a really bad place where you cannot access your power and take action. So please be good to yourself and think carefully about what kind of content you're consuming.